Namyo Ringekyo, Namyo Ringekyo, Namyo Ringekyo, Namyo Ringekyo, Namyo Ringekyo, Namyo Ringekyo, Namyo Ringekyo.
Hey yo, this is the Option Addict from www.optionaddict.net. Got another fruit basket of goodies for you here this week. That's right, it's another weekly watch list, so be gentle. This week coming up is going to be a pretty interesting week. Last week we talked about a nice little bullish action point here in the old S&P 500. You can see we had some nice little trend support, some horizontal support. As a result, the market moved higher. However, you put these little interesting, what do you call these, Fibonacci's on the chart here, measuring from high to low. And we broke through that old 50% retracement area to the upside. So that means we might be showing some more continued strength throughout the upcoming weeks. So even if we dip here to start the week, I still think we raise higher, and ultimately the next target price I think here in the S&P is 1450. Now this week, as far as economic announcements and information and goodies are concerned, we've got PPI, crude inventories, FOMC minutes, and existing home sales. If you didn't know that, make sure you pull up an old economic calendar somewhere out there on the World Wide Web. And in the meantime, I got an awful lot of stocks here to throw at you, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to start off with price patterns, and I'm going to tackle, first off, an industry group, which happens to be casinos. Now, you all know I've been pretty ultra bearish on casinos here for quite a while. I'm thinking that sentiment might change. I'm starting here looking at a chart of Wynn, that's Wynn Resorts. You can see there's a nice little symmetrical triangle here. There's been some buying as of late, and I think that has to do with the market being lifted here, of course. However, you look at ticker symbol LVS, Las Vegas Sands. Let me delete some of this here. And you'll see a shorter period of time, you got kind of the same thing, and you've also got a breakout to the upside. Now, I'm also going to bring up a chart of IGT. I mentioned to watch this a while back for a bottom. You can see here the stock has been there, done that. It's moved to the upside, and it's now sustained this little bottom that it's put in. You'll find out the same thing I was watching here with Penn Games, P-E-N-N. You can see it's pretty much just trading within a range here. However, when it breaks this to the upside, I think these casinos might have put in a bottom, so I want you to watch some of this price action here. There's an awful lot of price patterns developing. Some of these stocks have already broken up to the upside, and I think that's helping to lift the entire group. So I'm not telling you to run out there and start buying anything just quite yet, but watch for those buying signals that we normally talk about here on these watch lists, which are breakouts, accompanied by some good volume. Now, the rest of my list here, I'm going to go in the pharmaceutical area, which I'm pretty bearish on, but AMAG is what I'm watching here. Ticker symbol AMAG. If you look at this, we've got lower highs, we've got higher lows, and all this price action's kind of consolidating up into a symmetrical triangle here. If we see a breakout, no matter which way it wants to go, hop on board, whether it be calls or puts. And this thing ought to be good for about 5 points or so, which is pretty decent for a $40 stock. So we're getting close to the apex here. It's going to have to give, so make sure you're watching it. Next is ACH. We've had this on the list for quite a while, but it looks like it might be getting ready to start moving outside of this pattern here. No action point yet, but just make sure you got it on your radar. CCJ, I actually told you to get into this early, and you can see I still have the little green dot highlighted here. That's sort of my way to brag about a great entry in a dynamic pattern here. But nonetheless, what happened is we got the breakout, so if you traded the breakout, you're still in good shape. But even from that point, we've consolidated here a little bit. We've, what I like to call flagged, and we've broken out of that yet again. So if you are not in this trade, you've missed 3 opportunities so far. Stop waiting. Hurry up and get on this damn thing because it's starting to run.
Be the ball.
Next is ticker symbol NOV. Now this one here's got a nice little flag pattern to the upside, but what I'm watching is there's a lot of oil stocks right here that are approaching 52-week highs. And as these stocks break out, you're going to want to get involved. Watch for a lot of those ticker symbols later on here in the segment. But next I'm going to look at Apache, ticker symbol APA. You can see prices here starting to form a little triangle. The stock is broken out, and we're sitting here touching a 52-week high. But you guys know I love this name. This was part of the A list. This has made several watch lists as far as the buying the dip mentality is concerned. I love this name. I own this name. I'm looking forward to retiring with this name. Next, I've got ticker symbol DVN, another repeat offender from the watch lists of the past. Looking at this here, ascending triangle, we've got equal highs. We're actually starting to break out, and we've got our highest closing price here this year, followed by higher lows. This is a nice little breakout. It's got some increased volume into this buying here. I like this. I'm looking for about a 10 to 11 point move. Next is DNR. You'll remember this from last week. It broke out. This is kind of a longer-term trade idea. If you're an investor, grab it. If you're a trader, add weight on it, at least for a pullback. Next is EOG. You can see here another ascending triangle. You're going to find a lot of patterns that look pretty similar to this in this group. Looking for a 15-point move starting now. I'm also bringing up another repeat, which is CLHB. Told you to buy this thing early. I thought it would break. The volume is there. We've got a little bit of sellers up here at about 67 or so that are driving this thing down. However, if prices start to increase at these levels, you're going to trigger a hell of a lot of stops. The stock price is going to go screaming higher, and you're going to hit yourself. You're going to wonder why you didn't own this thing. Disclaimer, have a stop at 65 in that ballpark. Next, as far as the price patterns are concerned, is AKS. You guys saw on Friday there is still an awful lot of conviction in steel names, and this right here going forward is my favorite. It was a close second place earlier in the year to MTL, but right here, right now, this is my favorite. I own it. Now, if you're looking for some trades that have nothing to do with price patterns, let's say you're looking for some good dips to buy in an upward trending stock, or some good rips to sell in some downward trending stocks, or you're sitting here looking at stocks, you're thinking, hey, what's the next stock that's going to break out or break down? Allow me to tip my hand. And there you have it. You guys know that a lot of stuff is pretty overextended here to the upside. Last week brought an awful lot of buyers into the market, and therefore a lot of stocks are overbought. So it's going to be hard to find good entry points. Although after looking at a list like this, you don't have to look too much further. There's a lot of stuff here that you can take advantage of. But my strategies, I'm going forward. I'm still looking to buy dips. I'm still bullish on this market. And with the VIX down here printing 16, I'm buying as many options as I can possibly hold. Option addict style. Anyway, folks, thanks for tuning in. This is the Option Addict saying, that's my watch list. Thanks for watching.
Oh, come on, guys. It's so simple. Maybe you need a refresher course. Hey, it's all ball bearings nowadays.